people. Something a little bit more serious here. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope he doesn't harm himself. He's going through it. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Moving right along, we got to talk about this Dante Wright story. I hate to report on stuff like this, but I want to talk about a different angle, right? So sometimes you guys ask me like, Storm, aren't you going to talk about such and such? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to repeat what you just heard 30 other people say. I want to focus on something that a lot of people are missing. So I'm going to quickly run through the story, and then I'm going to show you why I think the courts probably actually took the best course of action. All right. So Dante Wright, biracial young man, 20 years old, was pulled over for like a misdemeanor warrant. I believe he actually had got a ticket for marijuana, and then the ticket ended up going into collections during the damn pandemic. They put that stuff on his license, and there you go. So he got pulled over in the car, got really nervous at the traffic stop as he was being put into cuffs. He tried to break free and get away. Now, this is what gets me when you watch the video, which of course I can't show you here. Maybe we'll watch it on Patreon. Maybe I'll do that. We'll break it down and slow it down. Here's the thing. If you watch the video, the male police officer actually had him under control. Dante Wright wasn't nothing but about what, maybe 115 soaking wet. Did you see the big ass police officer that had him? He was going to get him he was going to handle it. I don't even know why this lady, Kim Potter, the police officer, the ex-police officer, if you want to call her that, Wonder Bread, stale bread. I want to call her 100 million things, but those things are not permissible by YouTube guidelines, so I'm going to leave that at that. But I don't even understand why Kim got in the middle of a man handling this young man and trying to keep him out of the car and keep him in the cuffs. Why would she get in the middle of that? The men handled, they had it, Kim. Kimberly, did nobody ask you to come in the middle and do that? You should have stood your ass back and gave moral support, especially if your ass can't tell the difference between a gun and a taser. So then she gets in the middle of these men pretty much tussling and says, taser, 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 taser. Now, according to how these police officers are trained in Minnesota, that is actually what you're supposed to do, because you're warning the police officers around that taser, because it's not just a shockwave, it's like a string that latches into the skin and it pulsates. And so if she accidentally hits one of the police officers, it could be a whole damn mess. So that's why she yells it, so they know to give her room to actually shoot it. Now, to me, she was shooting it a look close. She backed up a little bit, but anyway. Taser, taser, taser. Takes the taser out, which is a gun, a Glock. Pow. Pops him. He drives off and she drops the gun. And I said, this is a dumb bitch. I said, so not only did you get in the middle of a tussle you didn't need to get in. I don't even believe, y'all gonna get mad at me when I say this, I don't even think low-key that police work is really for women. I'm just saying. Or if it is, women police officers should only be arresting women. I guess there is a place then. But it should only be for that. Because I just don't see how a woman, even the strongest woman, I don't care if Meg Thee Stallion was on the police force, I don't see how you really are going to overpower the majority of men. You're not going to be able to do it. They're not going to respect you. I mean, hell, look at what correctional officers go through that are women in the prisons. I can just imagine being out on the streets with these fools. Hell, my ass wouldn't do it. I couldn't. It doesn't make sense. Should have let a man handle what a man was doing. That was a time for you to sit there and write out and sit and observe and write a report of each of. Anyway. And so basically there were several things that she did wrong. Not to mention, even when she dropped the gun could have went off and shot herself, shot fellow police officers, shot Dante's girlfriend that was in the car with him, just shot up innocent person, anything. So, I've been asking myself over and over, like, Why does this keep happening? If you know anything about Minnesota's past, all right, this is where George Floyd was killed. Justine Damon, who was actually a dual citizen from Russia, I believe. Philando Castile, as well as Jamar Clark. And the list can go on and on and on. But with all of that, something's going on in Minnesota. And so Kim Potter, keep want to say Porter. I'm going to just call her Wonder Bread. So Wonder Bread has been charged with second-degree manslaughter. So I said, well, let's look up the statute because people aren't arms about it. Now, manslaughter in the second degree, a person who causes the death of another is guilty of manslaughter in the second degree, may be sentenced to imprisonment for not more than 10 years, so the most she'll get is 10, or to a payment of a fine of not more than $20,000. So literally, wow, she could get off of this with just a fine. Wow. And see, the way this country is, y'all know people will raise her $20,000 or GoFundMe to pay that. Anyway, okay. So here are the criteria, right? Person's culpable negligence, whereby the person creates an unreasonable risk and consciously takes chances of death or great bodily harm to another. She did that. By shooting another with a firearm or dangerous weapon as a result of negligently believing the other to be a deer, an animal, or by setting a spring gun, pitfall, death, snare, or other like dangerous weapon or device. By negligently, intentionally permitting any animal. Okay, that don't count. Okay, so the rest of these don't count. But pretty much she did that. That's literally Minnesota's statute for manslaughter in the second degree. Now, a lot of y'all saying, well, why can't she get first degree murder? Well, this is not first degree murder. I believe it is. But legally, you don't have a hard ass time going for getting first degree murder. And if you charge her with first degree murder, she's going to probably get off. And then y'all really going to tear the city up. Let's go to the statutes. Do you see all this criteria for first degree murder? Causes the death of a human being with premeditation. I feel like she premeditated that, but we don't have a way of proving that. She is going to stick with that defense of I mistook my gun for my taser. And we not in her head. Now, if you want to force 26 years and you don't know the difference in how they feel, your ass. But still, you always have to give them room from human error. All right. Causes the death of a human while committing or attempting to commit sexual conduct. That ain't it. Causes of a human with the intent to affect. See, they can't even say that. You can look these up and go through them yourself. But unfortunately, this don't fit first degree murder. This ain't the court's fault. This is the statute. This is the state statute. So let's go into second and third degree. I should be saying M word, but y'all already know. All right. So Minnesota law prohibits intentional, unintentional killing under most circumstances. All right. This is second and third degree. Often somebody intentionally, but without premeditation. Okay. A human while commit. Okay, that's not it. Causing someone's death without intending the death of anyone. Or committing a felony. Causing death unintentionally while intentionally inflicting or attempting to inflict great physical harm. Well, that one could be it if you consider a taser great physical harm. All right, let's go to the next slide. Oh, wait. Hold up. Okay, now you got third degree, a depraved heart or mind which places others in imminent danger of death and disregarding human life, like shooting a gun into a crowd for fun. She didn't do that for fun, so that ain't even it. Causing someone's death by giving them drugs. No. And then there's some of the defenses. But first, second, third degree is a little bit closer to what it was, but legally, this is second degree manslaughter. And so, will they give her jail time? Will they fine her? Or a combination of both? I don't know. But I know Wonder Bread is going to have a Wonder Bread privilege. And I'm willing to bet she's going to walk out of this with a fine. She ain't going to pay not a dime out her pocket because people are going to donate on GoFundMe. As a matter of fact, she may actually come up off of this. And she's been on the force for 26 years. Now, she quit. They'll reinstate her, later on after we forget about the case. So this heifer probably finna get her retirement, her little pension, whatever it is, whatever GoFundMe money people gonna raise, and she gonna go live her life somewhere. She's gonna go live her life somewhere. This is sad. This is sad, but very truthful. They're gonna let her go. Oh yeah, they will. So before y'all get mad at the judge or the jury, just always remember, go and look at the law. This is why it's important for black people to understand the law. I ain't saying you got to go to law school. Get these law books. We got Google. You ain't even got to go to the library. Literally look up the statutes in your state, in your city, and see what it is. You should know it better than they do. Secondly, don't fight with these people in the streets. Don't hold court in the streets because you're not going to win. Police officers are literally given a license to kill. You do not have the upper hand there. If they're going to take you to jail, let them take you to jail. And fighting in court. He's a young man. He freaked out. Okay. He's human. Now, to everybody that wants to be a police officer, if you can't handle someone having a meltdown, freaking out, being scared, especially in this climate, then your ass needs to give up your badge now, because this ain't the career for you. A lot of a lot of Wonder Bread, I'm gonna say it, become police officers because they have a power trip. They was abused kids, they were bullied, and now we in this world gotta pay for all this shitty stuff that was done to them. Got kicked out of the military. Didn't make it to the NBA or NFL. Usually NFL. Didn't make it to the NFL. Too scared to go to the army or military. Sometimes. You got people that want to be cops because they actually want to give back. And then you got a lot of them that just kind of fall into it. And anytime you got a career where people just kind of fall into it, you're gonna have a lot of bad apples, which is what we got. I don't know if the answer is to defund the police. I don't know exactly what the answer is. I think that black people need to have the conversation of black separatism. I think we need to get to a point where we police ourselves, if at all possible. Let me give you a little blueprint, right? When every other culture comes over here, they know they're at a disadvantage. That's arguable, but we'll talk about that later. But they know they're at a disadvantage, especially if they're not white. But what they would do is infiltrate different parts of this society so that they eventually take over, right? And so what that means is we're going to have to start to have some of our kids go into medicine because we know we don't get adequate health care. We don't get the same, health care that other people get. We're going to need some of our kids to go into law because we know you up in court, you 10 times more likely to be convicted or whatever the number is. You need more kids to go into the police force, to go into this, to go into that, and build it up to where when you get pulled over, it's one of us pulling over one of us. But even that is a problem because sometimes the black cops are even worse. I don't know, but the stuff is sad and depressing. But she's pretty much going to get off for this. And to the citizens of